Now, why am I mentioning Peru and combination? Has visa-free access to Peru. So imagine or think you're in Peru and you're striking your residency from inside. Now, Peru is. So, in this video, I wanted to discuss one of the most important passports in 60 days. And you heard that right. Yes, you can get one of the most useful passports in that time frame. But before I get to the passport, I first wanted to address one common question which a lot of people ask. What is the best, the number one residency which checks a lot of boxes that expats are looking for, like a safe place, beautiful place, a strong option, a strong backup option, a plan B option where you could do a bunch of stuff, right? You could live your life, you could have a good life in that country. The residency is Peru. The strengths are enormous. The citizenship that you would eventually unlock from Peru is one of the best. It's a APEC member. It's also a Mercosur member. So let me discuss this a bit. Because of the Mercosur, it opens up a lot of other countries. Once you become a Mercosur citizen, once you become eligible, you could live in Chile, you could live in Peru, of course, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, and Paraguay. So getting one country unlocks 5 or 6 other valuable nations. And because Peru is an APEC member, it has direct business access to Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, Japan, Russia, and bunch of other extremely useful countries. So this is a Swiss knife. You cannot go wrong with a red and delicious Peru option, right? The passport is hot red. It's one of the most handsome looking options. But a basic strategy would involve, let's say you have a home country passport, let's say it's an American or a Canadian or a European EU passport, and then you just, like a rookie or like a starter, you would get something like a Peru residency. That is a basic structure. Now, when you're talking about advanced layering, you want to have a legally acquired unique structure. Probably you want to have another passport in between, and you want to strike a valuable option like Peru on the right kind of nationality. And what are the options? A couple of options that I particularly think are interesting, that are very quick, very easy, and economical. Some of the most economical options, and they are Nauru, which is fairly fresh, fairly new. Not a lot of people know about Nauru. This takes up to 90 days or slightly more. And again, it doesn't take that much time. It's pretty fast. It's a pretty useful option. But apart from Nauru, and a slightly better solution is Vanuatu. It's a country where you could actually travel to and spend some time, a couple of months in a year. You could easily spend in Vanuatu. And if shit hits the fan, let's say you move to Vanuatu, you spend a couple of months, you could easily avail advanced services in the nearby Australia or New Zealand. So it's not that you're in a remote location. You have important and valuable countries surrounding you. And because of that Peru option, right, you have the APEC advantage, which opens up Australia and New Zealand. So your underlying nationality could be Vanuatu. And if you're thinking there's a stereotype, there's a banking issue with this kind of a passport, well, your banking is going to ride on your residency. So if you're a Peru resident and if you're doing banking in a country like Peru, they're going to look at your residency status. They're looking at your local IDs in that country, which you're going to have if you have residency. And the passport is really irrelevant. So if you're thinking about it from those terms, so you got to be a little advanced in the way you're thinking. If you're into the concept of advanced layering, then you would deeply understand how you responsibly and legally use a passport to your benefit. And something that others don't understand doesn't necessarily mean that's a good option or a bad option. It's really the way you're legally structuring and using your options. Why do I think Vanuatu is so important? I'm going to come to Peru in a second here. Something very valuable, far beyond the Mercosur or the APEC. There's something very important about the Peru option, which I'm going to discuss towards the end of this video. But let's discuss why Vanuatu is, I think, significantly better than Nauru or any other CBI. Because Vanuatu is a logical investment option. A lot of people don't want to waste all their money. They don't want a pure donation component. They want an investment component where you recoup some of the monies that you're paying to the government. They don't want to deal with any overpriced, bloated real estate, because if you're buying that, you're losing half the money anyway. So the idea is to still do that donation so you're free of any real estate in the wrong jurisdiction. You want to get the 60 days passport, and our liaison has a position and the prime vendor license. We work direct with the authorities, and that's the reason why we are able to get this so fast, faster than almost anyone else, lightning fast. The valuable thing here is that $50,000 out of your investment is redeemable. You're going to get back this money right after 4 years. So you have a feel good factor that you're going to get some money back. And regarding the actual amount, right? Let's say 115 and you have 4 or 5 members, then you're looking at 19,000 or 20,000 per passport per family member. That's nothing. That's a drop in the ocean for a lot of people. So it only makes sense to grab options before they go. And rather than using it point blank, you want to strike important or valuable residencies. Now, why am I mentioning Peru and Vanuatu combination? Vanuatu has visa-free access to Peru. So imagine or think you're in Peru and you're striking your residency from inside. Now, Peru is one of those countries where it's not necessary to obtain a visa under the specific residency category and then enter. You could enter as a tourist and then file for residency. So Vanuatu gives you that leverage to enter and then deal with Peru. Once you have this residency in your portfolio, then all your banking needs or all your local needs are going to ride on top of the rich Peru option, and Vanuatu becomes a secondary, which is exactly what you want. Now, this is advanced layering. We are leaving your home country aside for a second. There's a lot of headache or stigma with certain home countries, a lot of tracking and surveillance and those kind of things, right, with certain draconian regimes. So you want to really free yourself from that. Maybe it's a good option, but you want to keep that animal, that beast, separate. You don't want to awaken them, you don't want to alert them, you don't want to give them fuel for thought. So you want to have a second nationality which you could legally acquire, as I said, in 60 days, a quality option which has a redeemable component. And then you are using the visa free to enter some strategically important countries and then exercise your right as a citizen to then acquire those valuable residencies. Now let's come back to Peru. What's the most important thing with Peru? The most important thing is that you can apply for the Peruvian nationality in just 2 years. It's a very fast, organic, natural, strong citizenship. Now, if you want to get started with either or both options, you can always click the link, book a call. We can discuss the advanced layering concept. And Peru is just an example. There are other strategic advantages that you can get with certain options. So we can discuss this jointly and immediately get you started with whatever fits best in your situation. Now, your situation will drastically change based on your home country nationality. There's certain circumstances where certain second options or second passports or second residency combinations could be far more advantageous than others. It's not a one fits all. It really depends upon several circumstances. Apart from your home country nationality, there are other parameters that could be looked at. Also, your family size matters. There's a lot of things at play here. Now, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, before you go, make sure you're subscribed right now so you don't miss out on any important or latest developments or updates. Also helps us grow so we can get you more valuable content. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and catch you in the next one.